sense the energy surrounding the Jets. This is just another exclamation point for them this offseason, and that is in large part, obviously, due to Aaron's arrival. Malik, you were a rookie in Denver when Peyton joined the team. Tell us what that experience was like when he showed up and what you guys took from him.
I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, when I showed up, I was a rookie, and he was coming to the team from Indianapolis. It was really cool just to have him around. You know, me being from Tennessee and hearing a lot of, playing at Tennessee and hearing a lot about him, and then also seeing him in person. The story I remember is we were practicing, and it was like OTAs, April-ish, and we're doing gashers. We had about 20 of them, and coach was like, all right, guys, last one, and we get it done. He's like, 2 more. And you hear the whole line like, what the hell, you know, he's a quarterback, he's not running like that, you know. So it was one of those things that he came in just with the leadership right off the bat and just pushing guys to tell him, hey, let's go, let's do this, and he took charge right away.
How do you expect Aaron to take charge?
I expect him to be vocal, come in very consistent, hard body. I know him personally. I know he's going to be himself, first of all, but then also let these guys know what it takes. I think that's why he brought a lot of guys with him, so he can have that support system in each maybe room to run the back. I know receiver for sure, tight end room, to kind of let everybody know what he expects and what he thinks, and to make sure that these new guys can think like him. And so I think he's going to have a good year, and I think he's going to be a good leader for them.
Jalen, we know all the stats. We know how good he is. We know what his arm is. What are the intangibles that we don't know in the ways that he's going to impact this Jets team?
I think his character and his chemistry. He's a guy that abides by the 3 C's: character, chemistry, and competency. You saw last year, you know, he was on guys' tails when, you know, people may not have known the system or the route tree and things of that nature. So he's a guy that really brings those intangibles that demands greatness. I love him rocking the number 8. I'm looking forward to seeing him back in his single-digit ways. So it's going to be a great feeling for sure.
I can't wait to see Rodgers' impact on the Jets defense. The Jets defense was very good last year, like one of the best in the league. And it just seemed like they were holding up the team at times. There seemed like there was a disconnect. And a lot of times I'm in locker rooms and you can tell when the defense and the offense have a little bit of a division. The defense feels like they're doing a lot of the work and the offense maybe isn't putting up their end of the bargain. That felt like the 2022 Jets. And I still remember there was a game last year where Zach Wilson played poorly. And they were playing the Patriots, and he has a clip in the press conference, and they ask him simply, do you feel like you let the defense down? And we're going to play the clip in a second, and his answer to me kind of set the season and really set the tone for the Jets season. That defense had played good enough to win. Zach Wilson cost him the game, but he didn't really take the accountability for that performance. And so when you throw 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions, you want your quarterback to be the leader, to take the pressure off of your players' shoulders, and we didn't see that. And so I think you get an Aaron Rodgers out there, it takes pressure off of the defense. They know that guy's going to be the leader, the sheriff, like Peyton Manning was for you in Denver. And you have an accountability there, but you also have an expectation that rises. You know you're going to be a championship-level team with Aaron Rodgers there. It's a big difference from what they had last year. And that's why we're talking about the Jets as this can be a Super Bowl contender, whereas last year it was 7-10 team with a defense that was championship caliber.
I think I saw this firsthand in Tampa because when Tom Brady arrived in Tampa, the team was looked at one way. Obviously, he brought national attention the same way. And this is a Jets team that's always going to have national attention because of where they're located. And then we've seen over the course of the summer, it just ratcheted that up like tenfold. But when Tom arrived, this was a team that didn't have a lot of guys, not zero, but very few guys on that roster even had playoff experience. And it just really changed the mindset, because it's one thing to, you know, respect the guys that are older than you and have done it. I mean, this guy, no one has done it as much as this guy had. And so there was almost immediately this sense of belief that they could win every game, because you're looking at a guy who fully believed that, and he fully believed it because he did it. Didn't matter what the deficit was. You looked at that quarterback and you knew that he could bring you back from any deficit that they found themselves in. And it's weird because when I asked Jalen about the intangibles, I mean, that's what it was. It wasn't necessarily his arm. Obviously, he gets rid of the ball so quickly, and that alleviates a lot of pressure on folks. But it was that intangible. It was a belief system that, it happened almost overnight. I mean, it happened when he arrived, and it was just a change in belief system. And obviously, I'm not in the Jets locker room, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers walks in that locker room and it immediately changes a belief system on, because you guys know this, right? You always have to, you say the right things. Every team when training camp kicks off, what's the goal? The goal is to win the Super Bowl. Like, the reality is not everyone really has a shot at winning the Super Bowl right next year. But if an Aaron Rodgers walks in your locker room, don't you believe, truly believe that's true? And
along with that, I think much like Tom's situation, Aaron understands that it's a sense of urgency. It has to happen. And also with Aaron understanding this young energy, this team with a lot of energy, a lot of grace, a huge understanding and playing with passion and tenacity, he's going to feed off of that. Aaron's a funny guy, and he loves for people to be themselves. So I think along with both of those things, I think it's going to gel well.
And I think on the flip of that, we talk about what he's going to do for the young guys, but how much does it maybe rejuvenate Aaron Rodgers, right? You get a second chance with another team, and, there's all this debate. Should you leave the Packers? He's leaving this dynasty, but doesn't that also do something for him as well to have an entirely new set of challenges as a player? When you've been in one place for a really long time, what does that do for a guy going to a completely different world, basically? I
think it rejuvenates you. He's coming out, he's been somewhere, you've had that so to speak, that monkey on your back. You go somewhere new, you want to show you're exactly who you think you are. I'm gonna be exactly who I am, who I have been. And I think he's coming out there really want to show people who he is and that he hasn't changed. I would say it was the Packers' fault last year. It wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? So I see him going out there really doing his thing. And I just really hope he does it and kills it.
It's funny you say that, because remember when Tom it was that whole first season, it felt like it was Brady versus Bill. I mean, they're playing each other, but who was it? Was it Brady? Was it Bill? And I think the unfortunate thing for Aaron is that Tom went and did it, and he won a Super Bowl in the first year. And then Matthew Stafford went and did it. So when you look at Aaron Rodgers and what Aaron Rodgers is and what he's accomplished, the pressure's on, do it this year.
Right, absolutely. Now it feels like it's the expectation, right, that you got to win. I want to go back to you, Malik, because you were talking about the Peyton vibe. And I remember that 2015 season you guys won the Super Bowl. The reality is Peyton didn't play well that year. It was you guys on defense, but I still remember the effect that he had on you guys. I still remember there was a moment in the locker room where it really hit me. He was doing an inside the locker room press conference, which rarely happens. I was talking to a defensive guy on the side of the room. Everybody stopped and looked and watched him. It was that type of vibe. Guys got up off the sidelines when the offense was on the field, defensive players, and stood and watched the offense. Where you've been on teams, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you don't need to watch the offense. Hey, get ready for our 3 and out. That wasn't the vibe there. I'm curious from your perspective, especially at the end of that season, how much the aura and the championship pedigree affected the team just as much as maybe his play on the field.
Well, we don't say Peyton didn't pay well. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to say that. No, but I think it was one of those things that, back to her point, when you have somebody that can dig you out of a hole, whether you guys are doing good or not, it matters. For example, if you say Peyton got hurt and we had a second string come in, like, oh man, we need to make sure we're doing well. Like, we can't keep messing up. We're down 14 points. We can't give up any more points. But you have a guy like Peyton, like, okay, cool, let's keep it close. That's the sheriff. He's going to come in and do his thing. But yeah, to be able to, I think you just worry about your side of the ball. You know what I mean? You go out there and you say, okay, cool, we're going to try to be the #1 defense, try to be a great defense, try to be a cohesive unit. And no matter what that side of the ball does, we're going to make sure we go out there and not let them score. I think our goal was like 10 points.
Control what you can control.
Control what you can control, and I think that's what we were able to be good at. I think Coach Wade Phillips from the DC and every other coach down to the players, we understood what we had to do. And I think it was fair to say we all knew that was Peyton's like Kobe moment. We knew it was his last, and I think that's why a lot of guys went up there and really watched him and were just saying, "Wow, I've seen him play in live." You know what I'm saying? So we just went out there and did our thing, and it was something that you just don't worry about. You just understand that they're men too, and they got problems, and if we're messing up, they better not come over here and start talking to us. So you just let them do their thing.
I think it also just shows how quickly things can change in the NFL, because what was the conversation a year ago about the Jets? I mean, just completely, entirely different, and you just flip the page and look what we're looking at this year.